Yes, over to you, Saraswati ji now. So sorry for it all. So welcome. You're mute. You muted.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you all can hear me now. Is it clear and better?
Yeah, absolutely.
So welcome everyone, Consciously Positive. And yeah, today we are going to discuss about your handwriting. It's an interesting topic. So we have been writing since childhood. But we never thought that handwriting would have such an impact on our personalities. We never even thought about how this could impact our life. But definitely, there is a connection between your handwriting and your brain. So, uh, without doing any delay, let's get started with our session.
Yes.
And before we start, do I have any questions?
So I think you can go on with your presentation and the questions will come later on.
Okay, sure. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, please. Are you able to?
Yeah, disabled.
Okay, yeah. I should share on do it on Kalash Bhasin's ID.
Yes.
Yeah, see, if you can share now.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have named the session as Grapho Spark. It brings some spark inside you when you know, what your handwriting can do for you. So, yeah. So some thoughts on handwriting, what people believe, the people who had researched on handwriting, who thought what handwriting was, they have written their words. So I thought it would be helpful even for us to know a little bit about what the handwriting means. So Ludwig says that handwriting is a mirror of one's soul. By looking at one's handwriting, we can understand what kind of a soul he is or what kind of a person he or she is, yeah. Teresa says handwriting is a fingerprint of the soul. Handwriting is a painter's brush of the mind. Yeah. The whole sheet is in front of you and you write in your own way. It is like, you're painting your thoughts, your mind out on the paper. And the act of writing is the act of discovering what you believe. And this was said by David. And handwriting is a roadmap of one's identity. These were a few things which I thought would help us understand handwriting. So what is graphology? Graphology, graph is something like, when we put some strokes, when we make some markings, that is what is called graph. And study of these strokes is called graphology. Graphology is a scientific study of handwriting, the way we make our strokes, the way we write our A's, but the way we write our B's, everything has a significance in graphology. So the way we make the loops, we make the curves, make straight lines. So that is how graphology has come. So it means just studying the handwriting based on the scientific study. So definition, handwriting is a neuromuscular activity. It reflects your brain signals, strength, weakness, emotions, cognitive abilities, thinking process and pattern, response mechanisms, stress, depression, anxiety, and major parameters of personality and behavior. So since handwriting is directly related to your brain, so your hand and brain are always in coordination. So whatever thought comes to your mind, that is what your hand is going to write. It's in a similar way. Sometimes we see that our handwriting comes out to be so beautiful when we are like in a calm and uh, cool mood. And we try to focus more on our handwriting, and it comes out to be like, very beautiful. Sometimes when we are in stress, we see that our handwriting has gone to the fourth page. The impression has gone into the fourth page. So by looking at how the writing is, we can understand what the weaknesses, emotions, all the cognitive abilities, what is the thinking process of the person when he was writing that. So that is what, at that moment, what was the thinking process of that person. All this can be identified through one's handwriting. So before we get into the handwriting part, so I thought it is very important for us to understand how it has evolved, how the handwriting has evolved. So initially, through the Stone Age, we never had this kind of handwriting. We never used to even speak to people. It was just symbolic way. And these are the few examples of manuscripts that was there from the past. So throughout history, it has been changing a lot with basic symbols, which was there on the rocks, and it grew into a beautiful kind of calligraphy where we make art out of the letters. So, but unfortunately, again we are coming back to the point where we are not writing much. It's very unfortunate to see that we are slowly disconnecting from writing, and we are more involved with technology now as we have evolved. So that's a concern. So what is handwriting is, it's a fingerprint. It's unique to each person. We cannot see one person writing it beautifully, and we cannot copy it exactly like that. So even though we see and try to pick up few strokes from here and there, but still what happens is we have our own unique way of writing. So our individuality shines through every stroke, whether it's the size of a letters. Some people write it very small, some people write it very big, some people are moderate. So everything changes from person to person. But it's not just about the letters on the page. Handwriting also reflects on our emotions, on what type of emotion we are in when we are writing that particular section. So what I have just put here about how the thought process and how handwriting comes up. Like, what happens first? First, we get a thought that I have to write this. So when unless somebody is dictating and you're just following what they are doing, when we are ready to write ourselves, so what happens is we get a thought. So especially in schools and colleges, when teacher gives you an essay, so a topic is there, and then you think about what topic to pick. Thought comes, and then the words flow, and you start writing it. And then that becomes a habit, and then that habit becomes your characteristics. So handwriting works on thought process to redesign your habits or characteristics. So it is also possible to work on our handwriting and improve our personality based on what your handwriting says. Okay, these are the lobes that are involved when we are writing. So it's just a pictorial this thing, how it happens. So when a person is saying bird, and then that goes to the other lobe, and then we imagine a picture of the bird that comes to our mind. Okay, the bird is like this, and we start writing. So what is the importance of writing in this era? Keyboards, touchscreens, uh, it's dominating the handwriting. It may have diminished these days. Even the schools adopt tabs or laptops and other things to write, and the handwriting is becoming very, very less. So it is very, very important for us to pick up at this time and know the importance of handwriting, how it can help us, so that, you know, we keep it alive. So cognitive development, memory retention, fine motor skills. So cognitive development, by writing, we engage different parts of brain, which I showed in the previous slide. So what happens is your brain engagement is more. So your cognitive development also will be at par. So when we start typing, that thing, you know, comes down. So we may see that cognitive development also may go down as we start using technology more. And memory retention, yeah, because see what happens is when we are using handwriting, like we are using different parts of the brain, so where that memory stays, and it helps in the retention of memory. If we remember in our childhood, our teachers used to say, our parents used to say, instead of, like, you know, reading it once, why don't you write it? So writing is something, like, you know, which makes you remember more, because you're seeing it once and you're writing it. And when you're writing it, you're saying it aloud also sometimes. So it's like, you know, one time you are doing three things, and it is like, you know, helping you in remembrance also. And your fine motor skills definitely will improve with handwriting, because you're coordinating between your brain and the hand. The hand has to write, the brain has to think what I should write, how the stroke is. So fine motor skill improvement. And personal touch and individuality is there, like, you know, how I want to write my P, I want to make it creative. So that is there, which we cannot do on laptop. If I am doing it on a laptop, I can't design in my own way. I can't use my creativity. Like, you know, somewhere we just put an end to creativity and we just go with the technology. And there are a few more importance of handwriting: self-expression and creativity, which we discussed, emotional well-being. So here, what I would like to say is, like, you know, sometimes when we have observed, like, you know, when we are talking or when we are hearing to something, when we are watching some video, we would have noticed, like, you know, if we have some book or pen in front of us, we just start writing something. It may not have any meaning. Some people have a habit of, like, you know, drawing a flower, or drawing some drawings and lines, making some lines, making some rangolis and other things. So emotional well-being, when we are, like, you know, stressed, it so happens, like, whatever stress is there, whatever uncomfortableness is there, we try to take it out on the paper by writing something on the paper. So that is how it will also help us take away the emotional struggle that we are going through. It gives us relief from any stress, over processing, promoting overall well-being. So accessibility and inclusivity. So technology is not available everywhere. That is one limitation of technology. So some areas still have, like, you know, where they don't have access to internet. So that is where the handwriting will always help us. If we have pen and paper, we can start writing. So legal signature authentication is still handwritten. So that is the importance. So what is pattern? I'm like mostly talking about patterns here. So what happens is when we analyze the handwriting, we try to, like, you know, make correct the differences, or whatever this thing fault we see, by giving some patterns to the people who are seeking help. So what is the pattern? Pattern involves the size of the handwriting, the slant, the pressure with the baseline, what is the baseline and how we are writing it, the spacing, shape of letters, connection of letters, speed at which we write, loops in letters, bars, like, you know, the T bar, what we write, how far or near it is. So based on that, we analyze the patterns. So creation of neural pathway, which happens through handwriting. So handwriting improves the motor skills and strengthens motor control neural pathways. visual motor integration. Yeah, as I told, like, we get the visualization. So it also helps us in visual integration. Memory enhancement, cognitive development. Yeah. So these things are, smaller. This thing, it helps us in brain synchronization, hand-eye coordination, brain hand movement, neuroplasticity, encourages the brain to form new connections. By changing the pattern. So if we notice that this person's letter is slightly different, which may be causing some problem to the person. So what we do is we suggest a new formation of the letter. So by practicing it for multiple times, so it creates a new neural pathway in the brain. So which will help the person improve the problem that they are having. Okay. So any questions till now?
Pretty clearly put, so I think. So I guess anybody has any questions? I think you can continue later on. We can take the questions.
Okay. So this was the introduction about how the handwriting is and how it helps us. So we have we come up with something called as grapho patterns. So what we do is there are different patterns which is related to our emotions. Say something like, I am very stressed out. So what we do is, if a child or if a person is in a stressful situation, what we do is we assign some kind of pattern. So when you are seeing this one, this is a warm-up pattern that we give, which will help in coordination. So this is something like, this is we give it as a remedy when they come for consultation. So we make them do this, at least practice 10 lines per day. So they have to practice in a similar way, and we tell them the steps also, from where they should start and where they should go. All the details will be given. So by practicing this every day for 10 lines, it will help them. This is just the warm up thing. So there are multiple patterns like this that we give. I just wanted to also show something, or the recent development that we have.
Saraswathy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When I was a small girl, my writing is, because I'm born with cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegia. No, my right hand is actually both hands used to be spastic. So I practice my right hand. So it is still it is still it is still it goes out of the line sometimes, and sometimes I wish that it will gain control back again. But
Definitely we can work on that. I didn't get your name, sorry.
So Raj, Raju.
because
Raji.
this topic resonates well in me, because
Exactly. Even
before I became a trainer, because now I'm a trainer, I'm a laughter yoga therapist, and now I used to write letters to siblings and all that, but now I stopped because they're complaining about my writing and so on and so forth. So I stopped. So do you think I should practice
Yes,
writing?
definitely you should practice, because see, that is something which we shouldn't stop, is what I feel. Handwriting is something even at the age of 70, 80, it is very, it's very good that if we continue to practice.
I'm aged. I my writing was not very at 7, my writing was just scribbling, and sometimes I like to scribble.
That's very nice, actually. So you are taking out your
Yeah,
emotions by scribbling, which is very good. So
yeah,
that
but
is the individuality. Like, your brain knows itself, like, what I should do to take out my emotions.
maybe it's like um, maybe by practicing writing other than hypnotherapy and other than training, I could actually, can I say that it's expression therapy?
Yes, yes, it's a kind of expression therapy, right?
And so that's why I used to write letters to myself also.
Hmm.
I recently went for my teacher training in laughter yoga, and I guess what wrote a letter to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I will continue practicing. Thank you for the advice. And
Yeah,
um
you can connect with me. I can give you some patterns, like, which you can practice. So the thing is, like, you have to practice 10 lines every day. Um, it will improve slowly. You will definitely notice the improvement in your writing,
writing
not just in
those days
writing.
those days they used to say write my name and all that.
Exactly, exactly. That and I mean, that is what has happened now. Like, with the technology,
Yeah.
uh, we have just stopped uh, writing completely. These days, kids find it so difficult. They get swelling in hand when they write.
Yeah.
Even my kids
Those
are like,
days.
yeah, I have the
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to know because there was also another trainer, pretty.
Mhm.
She also gave some, but I think every trainer has different style. Even I have different style, but
Absolutely.
I like the way you have. I think I like the way you you put your thing, that do not limit yourself, and do not, because once people tell me, oh, your writing is not good, but they don't see the value of what I'm portraying inside.
Mhm.
So, and especially my dad cannot hear.
Mhm.
So the thing is, I sometimes used to write letters instead of talking. You need to write letters.
That's very good, Raju. And thank you so much for sharing your concern. So now you can connect personally with Saraswati and she'll guide you. We'll continue with the presentation now. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Saraswati.
So, so we recently we had this experiment, like, some 2 3 days back. What we are trying to do is we are trying to um, connect with EEG, electroencephalogram. So we are even trying to experiment. Is it visible?
Screen has not come on yet. It's just a gray background.
Yeah,
It's not come out wholly.
I think I'll have to share. I think stop this sharing. Stopping in between. I don't know.
Huh. It's just the gray background is coming.
Yeah. Is it visible now?
You have to select the whole screen is visible. Like all the matter is visible.
Yeah, for some reason it's getting like, paused when I click on the picture.
So you can Stop share and then start again.
Yeah. Is it visible?
No,
No.
you have to share. The share screen hasn't come.
Dark screen and then maybe.
Yeah, the whole screen has come now. You have to select, I think.
Yeah, I think now it's coming. So, so this is something we were like, trying out.
Mhm.
This girl is like, fixed with that LED, leader.
Mhm.
LED. And then we have given her to write something. So we were like, observing like what pattern creates what. This is the advanced kind of research we were also doing. And this is one of our team who has been conducting this. So we are also like, planning to do this in every place, like, where we can understand what the person is going through.
So like you're monitoring them while they're writing, right?
Exactly. This is the pattern that we gave, and we also tell them like to write without giving any pattern and see what their brain waves are saying.
Can you just expand the screen? They're like it's still in this small mode. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So this is something like we gave her to write, and when she was writing, like with the spaces narrowed, with the spaces like expanded, we were trying to like see what activities are taking in her brain. So this is the uh, thing, and then we have to have a doctor who can interpret what is happening there. So how do I come out of the screen share?
You have to stop share. Is that option of stop share?
It says resume pause. Yeah, here it is. Yes. Yeah. So we are also into like experiments where we are trying to find out how we can help people like scientifically, because people need scientific evidences like to believe that this will help. But definitely this can like even before somebody like is going to get some kind of a problem, we can identify through the handwriting. So we take the like sample, and then uh, we take the sample and then we analyze what handwriting they are having, and based on the problems we suggest and give them the patterns. Like if somebody wants to study about this, that also can be done, like by learning how they are supposed to make their strokes and how they're supposed to improve their handwriting to gain back their confidence. Some kids, like, they'll be very low in confidence. When you see their handwriting, you will understand, like, there is a problem in some stroke. So by rectifying that, they will definitely gain back their confidence.
So how long should the practice be done for results to come forward?
So what we do is, it depends again from individual to individual. What we do is, like, we give them certain patterns to practice for three days.
Okay.
So minimum, I mean, we don't extend it till 6-7 months. We do it for 1 month and see the improvement. And based on that improvement, again, we'll take it forward.
Mhm. So
So
meaning
it is,
results can come within a month also.
yes. Not even month. Sometimes it comes within, like, a week's time also.
Okay,
Like,
that's amazing.
they practice more without any, like, breaks. They practice every day. So what happens is, like, we are so much involved. I also like, did a session where I took my own friends. But
Mhm.
what happens is, like, with the commitments, we don't focus on our self improvement. We always look at, like, how do I improve my child, how do I improve others, but we never focus on ourselves.
Mhm.
So if we all start thinking about ourselves, and it doesn't take much time, it hardly takes 5 minutes to write.
So there's no age barrier for it.
There's no age barrier, like, and, like, these days we have seen in schools also, like, people, like, kids of small age, they are starting to practice this cursive writing. It's so difficult for them.
Yeah,
And sometimes, like, when we analyze handwriting, we analyze it in some ways, like, when kids are taught in that way, they are going to continue writing in that way.
right.
So that may become problematic in the future. So if we can, that should be our aim, like, when if we start early,
Mhm.
the better.
Meaning those Montessori level teachers should have a knowledge of
Have a knowledge, yes,
So
exactly.
that's great.
So it will be very nice, like, if they can bring this kind of knowledge to the teachers, so they can start from the initial levels itself, so they don't have to, like, yeah, the creativity definitely flows. We have to allow them for the creativity. But when we analyze the patterns, we see based on the how many number of times they have used.
Right.
So yeah, that is how it is.
Uh, yes, thank you for that knowledge. Yeah, anyone else has any questions about the modality? So would you like to share any cases of yours where you found the improvement happening?
Yeah, it has. I mean, like, it is a continuous process, and I have conducted many sessions.
Mhm.
Definitely, I have seen, like, some kids who are, like, very fidgety, very aggressive. So even they were able to, like, calm down with this kind of practices.
Okay.
So what happens is, uh, when they are, like, restless, their mind is, like, their mind is restless because they're not doing anything.
Mhm.
They have to bring back their focus into something. And when we give them writing in such a way, it's not like, practice A, B, C, D, and you're, like, forcing them, no, do this, do this. It is not like this. It's like, just simple pattern where they also enjoy writing it.
Mhm.
And they, like, come down, the stress levels come down of the kids.
Okay.
So it definitely improves in overall improvement, not just the way they write. It is a focus.
Mhm.
It is the focus and concentration. Everything improves.
Okay, that's good.
And even, like, when the person has high BP,
Mhm.
so even at that time, if we start practicing slowly, it will
Okay.
definitely come
It
down.
can connect to lifestyle diseases as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
So the pressure they put, like, some people, we may see that they write and the impression goes to the fourth page also.
Right, right.
So that shows that they have so much of pressure in them that they're not able to release it anywhere.
Great.
They're releasing it on the paper.
Oh, never thought of this concept.
Yeah. So all these things are, like, analyzed, and the way they write. And if you see the T bars, how they're making T bars, they're like, some make it very low, some make it very high. So
Yeah.
that shows the goal that they have for their future.
Okay.
How they are setting the goal. What is the expectations from their selves?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful modality. It's a beautiful language. So when we combine this with NLP and other healing modalities, healing becomes very like, long-standing.
Yes, absolutely. Holistic.
Yeah.
So would you like to share any tip with us all which would help us like
Yeah, I had just shared one slide, so I can put it in the group, or maybe I can share it here. So this is the warm-up pattern we call, and it is also it also helps in the focus.
Okay. So anybody can do it?
Anybody can do it, and start with today, like, continue it for 3 days.
Okay.
3 days is minimum that you need to, like, get that benefit. You can start seeing, like, by the time you come to, like, I have seen initially when they come, no, that you or I, it will be like, very expanded.
Okay.
But slowly, as they practice, it comes to a proper shape and proper way. So what we do is, like, writing the I. Let me see if I can show that slide, particular slide. Yeah. So this is the pattern. So what you do is you start from the left corner and then make this. Is my cursor visible? Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like this. Like this you make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 eyes you make. First you make this down part and then you go on putting the dots.
Okay.
On top. So 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. So the page, how much ever the line is, so you can make till the end of the page.
So Rajun, you can start practicing this as well.
Yes, it is. It will be very helpful. You will know the changes. So 1 line of this pattern and like 10 lines minimum per day if you practice.
Okay. So like there should be 4 or 5 in one line.
Yeah, I think you will get around 5 or 6 in one line.
Okay.
So in the same way, like, 10 lines if you practice. So this will improve your focus and concentration.
Great.
And also, like, calm you down if there is any. There's also one more for stress separately, but this also helps in calming you down, and focus and concentration will improve.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. So any other questions?
I think that was pretty well said, well presented, and well taught also. Thank you so much. There are no questions from anybody.
Yeah. So this is something like, I would encourage everybody to start becoming kids again and start writing. It is like, my friends used to say, like, kids were asking them, like, why you are writing at this age? The kids don't write at this age. And like, we have to be an example for them by writing. And these kind of activities should be like, started in all the schools where they encourage the patterns. Like, identifying what the kids are going through, not only through like, medical tests. These are also very helpful in identifying what the child is going through. Yeah. So let's encourage people to write more.
Absolutely. It's needed nowadays.
Yeah, a need of the hour.
So
yeah.
I think we can now wind up since there don't seem to be any questions from anyone.
Yeah, it was a pleasure
Yes,
talking to everybody and connecting here.
Yeah.
And hope this helps. And if anything is there, please do like, drop a message.
Reach out. Yes, we'll reach out personally. Thank you so much, Saraswathy.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
It was an amazing presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for joining in. Have a great day. Thank you.